Hello, Pisces. I was going to do a reading for Aries because I'm trying to get through all the readings, but I'm trying to take my slow time. I'm doing the best I can here. So, like I said, I was gonna work on Aries because I felt like that was the next one, but apparently I was led in a different direction. So, Pisces, you could be dealing with an Aries, and maybe an Aries is dealing with a Pisces in some way. But I feel like the messages need to get out for you guys. I'm trying to finish shuffling your cards. I do want to talk about this year a little bit for Pisces. Pisces have gone through pretty much maybe the peak postpartum depression. I feel like a lot of them were in a very freak accident, whether it's a mental process, whether it's something that a lot of them had to regroup. I feel like a lot of ego trips, a lot of I've done this, nothing's happened to me. I feel like a lot of Pisces are being humbled. And 2019 was a humbling year for, I think, a lot of you. For some of you, it was a time to set yourself apart from the world, to really go within and find, the God within yourself, the strength. I do feel like a lot of broke for you mentally. A lot of... Anyways, I feel like Pisces really need to work on their stability this year. I feel like a lot of you really put time and effort and money, maybe useless money, into things that really do not serve you. And I feel like a lot of Pisces in general are trying to, in some way, I'm not saying this is for all of them, but in some way, putting a band-aid on their wounds, past wounds, to just at the moment feel good. Maybe using sex, maybe using something to get their mind off of the pain of the past. But I feel like 2020 is not going to be easy for you. I feel like it's already starting out as, for some of you, accident prone. I'm not saying the whole year's going to be like that, accident prone. A few Pisces I've known with placements in Pisces either got hurt. A friend that I worked with recently, they have a Pisces moon, and both that same day, both of us got, whacked out. So I don't know what the heck's going on with Pisces, but I feel like 2020 is all up to you of how you're gonna react to certain things. I just feel like a lot of what we're being asked as a Piscean, I feel like, is for better days. To get out of this isolation, to get out of this entrapment of the mind, per se, and to really be a Pisces. Pisces don't have to be bitter. They don't have to be mad. They don't have to be complacent. I just feel like the worst Pisces out there, and I'm no scientist or pro at this, more observation of Pisces, but I feel like there's some good Pisces, some bad Pisces. It doesn't really mean the sign naturally. It just basically means, a lot of you guys are going through huge traumatic shift. Your decade is over, because for the past few decades, it was in Pisces, the energy of Pisces. And now we're heading to Aquarius, which I'm not sure where Aquarius in your birth chart affects you, but I do know that I'm feeling drained. I'm feeling recalibrate for you. I do feel like Pisceans do like the fact how Aquarians think, how they reciprocate. But I really feel like this year you got to be careful of accident prone, angers, triggers, because I feel like with all these eclipses and all these different energies coming in, flowing Jupiter and Capricorn, it's going to put you in a bind. I feel like it's going to put you in the positive terms. It's going to ground you. Water and earth do well. Water and air do well. But I feel like if Pisces aren't careful, they can really shut the world out. They can really isolate themselves to the point where they don't need anybody and their dog or cat. I've seen Pisceans do that. They pretty much shut the world. They sleep their way through pain. They go through periods of becoming an addict. I'm not saying all Pisceans like that, but the ones that I've seen, like the traumatic ones, the ones who haven't really healed from trauma abuse or things that happened in their childhood or just blockages that they're blocking themselves, you gotta just be careful, Pisces. I have rising in Pisces, so like I said, a friend that I worked with, him and me the same day had a kind of an accident where I stubbed my finger in the door when I was pulling a table with one of the boss guys. And then he literally had a huge cart full of stuff. He was emptying it, and the cart ricocheted back at him and hit him in the face, and he got a big old knot in the face. So, and then after that, I heard someone that I watch on YouTube, their Pisces, their daughter, got injured a little bit. I'm like, what the heck is going on with these Pisceans? So I do feel the energy. You guys need to really be careful not to make rash decisions, not to think too rashly, because I feel like a lot of you are going to get in the state of ego hurt, ego trips, if you don't really watch it. Watch your spending too. Alright, so we're going to do January 1st and then 2020. I'll shuffle the cards again. Sorry, we're in pitch black. Maybe that's how you're feeling. Alright, so you got the Six of Swords. That's walking away from a period that's dark and clouded into better grounds. Five of Swords, and then the Four of Swords, and then the Six of Cups, Strength card, King of Swords, Eight of Swords, and the Moon. So I feel like a lot of painful things right now with Pisces that they're trying to cut through. They're cutting through the bullshit. Maybe they see things other people don't, and they're not really talking about it. I do feel like there's a lot of mental recover. There's a lot of recovering, recuperating, but I feel like you guys are done with that. A lot of you really isolated yourself to the point where maybe you lost people in the middle of these ways, and now you're coming out and having to express yourself, whether that's good or positive. But I do feel like for some of you it's coming to a positive time for you. But I feel like there's a lot of things that you went through 2019 that you lost a lot of things. You walked away from things. You had to recover from trauma and from isolation. A lot of you were in isolation for years. And I think it's really hard for Pisces to really come together in a family situation because they've had an ego bruised or ego trip, or they can't get out of these mental blockages. And it's recognizing the love that you have around you. People want to support you. People want to help you. No one's out to kill you. No one's out to hurt you. And I feel like you're on the fence about that. You're on the guard of who wants, my next win, or who wants my trophies or my car, or maybe you're having a jealousy moment. And I feel like a lot of jealousy with Pisces, that maybe they envy something so much to the point that they start hating it in some way. That's what I'm feeling. I could be wrong on that, but I do feel like for some of you, maybe you don't have the love that you want. For some of you, you do have the love that you want, that you've always asked for, but I still feel like there's a lot of things closing out 2019 had that maybe put you in a bind, maybe put you in a very uncomfortable position and maybe wanted to walk away. But there's a lot of things, like I said, you walked away from a lot of things that you're not tolerating anymore when it comes to 2020 and people and situations. But I do feel like, Pisces, there's a lot of love around you. And I feel like it's recognizing and being grateful for what you do have instead of what you're envying. I do have the feeling for some of you, maybe you got in a situation or relationship just to see if the other person will get jealous. I don't know. Although it's coming through for some of you. So we have a Strength card. For some of you, you are dealing with an Leo, an Aquarius, Pisces, Scorpio, and a Cancer. I do feel like there's going to be a lot of strength this month for you to really start speaking your truth. And, it's really hard when Pisces has been wounded, when Pisces has been through the muck and the ringer, like 19 has left them scarred and maybe not to recover. But I feel like it's about taking on courage to speak your truth, being authentic with yourself, not being harsh, not being critical, but being in a loving way, compassionate with others, because I feel like there's this need to restart something, reset something that wants to come out for you guys that maybe is hidden or blocked. But I think there needs to be some type of validation, reconciliation when it comes to your truth and what you want to speak, and you've been hiding it for some time. Maybe there's, in a family situation, something hidden. Maybe with this Leo or an Aquarius, truth wants to come out about what is true to you, about where you stand in a situation. But I feel like this month, it's really up to you, Pisces, this year in general, of how you want things to go. I really feel like that. Alright, I'm going to shuffle the cards and see what's coming out for 2020. Alright, let's see what's going on for you guys for 2020. Ten of Cups. 10 of Pentacles. See, I do feel like things are pretty good for you in 2020, Pisces. I just think a lot of it is you're overwhelmed. A lot of it you're in your own problematic truths. And I feel like it's about really taking some time out. And I feel like a lot of you put in a lot of time and effort this past year, moving, traveling, reconsidering things, your options. But I do feel like, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, I do feel like a lot of things are coming for you in 2020. I don't know why I'm getting the feeling of just reading it for what it is instead of each month. Maybe just reading for what it is and then adding into what each month is. So I'm going to read it like a story almost. Kind of like a kid's cartoon. I was just thinking that because I was watching a video a few days ago. A lady I watched, her child was doing a reading. She's a Pisces. I thought it was cute. So I feel led to just read the year out to you, what it looks like to me. Like I said, I do feel like things are coming in 2020 for you Pisces. Good things, good changes, good progress. I do feel like there's a lot of problems, back and forthness, mental clarity, mental blockages that you need to work through on your own term and your own growth. And I feel like you're the only one blocking yourself from opening up. You're the only one not letting whatever is festering within you to come to the surface so you can heal. And I'm not saying, burst out to someone in complaint of what they did to you or how they treated you, how they hurt you in some way, like a Piscean usually does. Oh my God. I can't stand that. But what I am saying, there's a lot of healing still that is festering within you that really needs to get closed out this month in general. But I feel like this year, you can block yourself if you try, if you want to, if Lord willing comes or whatever. But you need to cut it off, this energy, this negative vibe that you've been casting stones at people, feeling like in the same way I'm gonna get their goat. I feel like a lot of dark energy, dark shit coming from you guys. I've been feeling it energetically recently where I feel like, I don't know if it's my own words, but accusations of stuff that aren't even true. And I'm not saying it's from a Pisces, but I pick out certain people, and I'm not going to say, but like, I feel like certain people are trying to attack me or trying to in some way attack me to get me to their will, in some way control. But that needs to cut out. I'm not saying any of you have done that, but I felt like that type of energy. So, if in some way there's still residues, mishaps, betrayal, accusations, hurt, pain, betrayal, that you're still carrying on, Pisces, that shit needs to go. That dark shit, that dark entity within yourself needs to go. Get it out of here. I don't want it. And I say that only because when I see this Five of Swords, you're clearing out this energy. A lot of you've come to terms with the past. Pisceans have really come to the past, that the past never served you any good. But it's really easy to trap ourselves. It's really easy to get stuck in this isolation that I have to isolate myself from the world. I can't open up. I have a lot of pent-up aggression. I'm not saying any of you are doing like any evil spell work, but if that is the question, I feel like a lot of it needs to stop. Because I'm not saying you're hexing anyone, but I've known a Piscean who's done that. I feel like you just need to let people live their lives. And I admit, I've been hurt by a Pisces. I have. There's been many countless Pisces I've been hurt by. And one thing that I've learned through the hurt, the accusation, the betrayal, the disappointment, the let go, the let down, I've had to really step back from these situations with people and really look at myself from their perspective. And really go within and completely heal from it. Because I felt like, they were stopping me, but it was really myself stopping me. And I feel like a lot of you Pisces get in these situations that for some of you, you are healing from these painful, traumatic events in your life. Stories that you play over and over in your head. But I feel like, we're in a new decade. We're in a new time frame. And if you really haven't done the healing that 2019 was teaching you and helping you and giving you the lessons, I'm sorry to say, but you're bringing a lot of load, a lot of shit into 2020. I just feel like that for some of you. Now, for some of you, it's looking at the past and realizing, I had to go through the pain. I had to go through the betrayal. I had to go through these traumas for my spiritual growth. Anyways, I feel like for some of you, you've done the healing of 2019. Sorry, I was going to say 2020. So I feel like that's when the good things start coming to you, start flowing when you really release. And I feel like for some of you, you have released a lot of this painful experience. And, maybe it was a certain person that came into your life that really changed you, that really inspired you to move past all this garbage that you went through for the past 5+ years. Alright, so let's get into January. January, you have the Ten of Pentacles. I was going to say Ten of Cups. Well, it could be Ten of Cups. Refer to that. I feel like this is a lot of things coming for you, Pisces, good and bad. January, I do feel like there's a lot of completions to things. There's maybe a lot of things you're trying to understand in a love connection. Your value, your worth in something. Maybe time and investment in something. But I really feel like there's a lot of love here. February, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my word, I said anyways, not Trojan. The place that I work, it's called Trojan, but it's called Higher Quest. I don't know why that came out of my mouth. Yeah, you have the power of Trojan. Wheel of Fortune. Alright. Maybe it's hot love energy. I don't know. I don't know. Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like a lot of good things. A cycle is changing for you guys, coming into fruition of something that you've been planting, something that you've been working on. My head is in the gutter thinking about Trojan, the thing. You know what I mean. March, you have this Four of Cups. I feel like there could be some disappointments. There could be some letdowns in March. But I feel like it's nothing major. It's just, maybe yourself analyzing a situation that's kind of disappointing to you. It could be a past situation. And then moving on, you have the Eight of Swords. Taking the blindfold off, Pisces. Revealing to the world that you don't want to lose yourself in the process of something, It could be changing a situation, changing a love dynamic, changing something within yourself that you're removing the blindfold to see clearly. January, February, March, April. So that was April. So May, you have the Four of Swords. It's all about internal issues. I feel like mental issues that you're going through. And, really taking the time and space to really relax. You may need to go on vacation. You may need to reconsider things in your life. Because the next one, which is January, February, March, April, May, June, you have a lot of things that you're going to have to plan out. A lot of things you're having to look at. But it's like, are you blocking yourself? Is someone else blocking yourself? But I feel like it's you getting out of your way. You making the decision. You completing something. Nines are associated too with endings and beginnings. But yeah, you have a lot to look forward to. Then January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Oh, that was June. Okay, so July, you have the Five of Swords. Cutting things out. There could be some type of thing you need to resolve. Communication. There could be something that you need to resolve within yourself when it comes to letting something go, letting people's situations go. Could be just your internal struggles. Alright, so August, you have the Four of Pentacles. So maybe holding back on something. Maybe not spending as much. Maybe saving, investing something that you've been working on, strategizing about. And then September comes around and you have the Queen of Pentacles. So taking inventory, I feel like. Taking all the resources you've been getting in and really, strategizing the plan of success here. And then October, you have the Ten of Wands, completion. So I feel like the month prior, it's about, putting investment into something that is going to be sustainable for the next few years. I'm pushing towards a goal. And then in November, you have the Temperance card. So I feel like it's completion of something, high expectation on something, coming to fruition, magic happening. There could be a wedding, there could be a celebration of some kind. I do feel like a lot of healing is taking place. A lot of things are regrouping itself. Maybe you're coming to a place in your life where you're starting to feel better. You're starting to carry on this temperance energy and being patient, being willing to receive something or give something in exchange for love. It is the energy of Sagittarius, but to me it's more the energy of temperance, patience, being willing to put in the time and effort to something, and healing. Healing is beginning. Alright, so you have the Queen of Swords in December. So I feel like you're pretty good. You're starting to come out. You're starting to speak your truth. You're starting to be in full power, full potential. But like I said, Pisces, it's really up to you this year. It really is. And I think I'm going to title that, It's Up to You this year. What you're going to do, how you're going to move things, how you're going to situate things. If it is planning and strategizing a plan. Because I feel like Pisces, you've come a long way. Not to sit and mope about the past, but you've come a long way to achieve your blessings. Blessings in disguise, to receive success once again. We're not in the dark times where, we're in a cell in prison. And maybe some of you, which I know there's one, that has sit in jail for years and years. But you know what? We don't have to sit there anymore, Pisces, do we? We don't have to be chained up, isolated from the world. We're supposed to be getting out of that time in Aquarius time and start being our true self, the best version of ourselves. And I just wish the best for you guys. Alright? Anyways, bye-bye. I hope that resonates with one of you.